Guys, how you doing? Just going to give you guys an update on the Blackhorse Viper build. I know some of you guys have been messaging me, so sorry I haven't been able to get around to this, but I'll do it now. Okay, so first we're going to start out at the servo boxes. Servo boxes on the Blackhorse are absolutely crap, in my personal opinion, the way that they were designed, simply because when you install your servos, the head of the servo is either going to be, whether you flip it or not, doesn't matter. It's either going to be way the hell down here or way the hell down here. So the challenge there is going to be that you're not going to get enough travel to make the servo work. So what you're going to have to do is find neutral, and then you have to install your servo arm so that it's a little bit off neutral, if that makes sense. So basically, you're going to install it so that you get enough travel for both up and down, basically. Okay? The other thing, too, is the linkages that come with the plane is hot garbage, in my opinion. Okay? These are the linkages that I'm holding in my hand here. And to be honest with you, the best thing to do with them is just this. Garbage. Drop. They're no good. I wouldn't use them if I were you. I decided to go with Dubro ball links as well as Dubro turnbuckles. This is the turnbuckles here. You're going to have to do a little bit of cutting to get them to fit, but it's not a big deal. The other thing too is I decided to go with the Dubro 440 nylon lock nuts as well, just to make sure that everything's nice and secure. The plane, the kit actually comes with these pieces of crap. I would not use those either. After a couple of turns, I guarantee you that those things are going to loosen up, even if you got Loctite on it. Don't use them. And the other thing that I did as well too is, before we leave servos, let me just tell you this. If you're going to be using the King Max servos, the servo arms that they come with are too short for this application. You're going to have to get something that's probably about 1.25 inches or so, simply because when the servo arms are reaching about here, you're not going to have the travel that you need this way. Okay, so you're going to have to get longer servo arms to make that setup work. Great servos, don't get me wrong, but it's just the servo arms are just too short for the screwed up servo boxes that they have with the plane. Next, retracts. So the main retracts, these are 12K all metal Hobby King retracts. Great retracts. The only issue that I've heard people having is the shaft that's from here to here. Because it's a completely smooth shaft and it's only held in place by a grub screw, there is no flat spot on the shaft. So you're going to have to put your own flat spot on to minimize any sort of twisting or anything like that, because I know that some guys are having issues with that. As far as wheels go, I decided to go with 65mm JP Hobby electromagnetic brakes, and those should work out quite nicely. Next, nose wheel strut. Okay. So the nose wheel strut is a little bit more than 8mm. These are 10mm. These are 8. These are a little bit bigger than, just a little bit bigger than 8. And the Hobby King nose wheel retract, you're going to have to pull it apart to get to this trunnion. The reason why you're going to need to do that is you're going to need to sort of ream out that trunnion because, like I said, this is slightly bigger than 8mm, and this shaft is exactly 8mm. Okay, and obviously you can't use this pin in here because it's just not designed that way to just slide in. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is drill this out. So the challenge is going to be, how do you hold it to drill it out? You're going to need a vise. So when you put it in the vise, do not put this just by itself in the vise, because what will happen is you will crush that little nipple there. That goes right in there, okay? And then it won't move freely as it rotates for up and down. So what you're going to have to do is just get a little piece of plywood balsa, drill a little hole in it, put it over top of that. Get 2 pieces, obviously. Okay, and you're going to put it like that. Then you're going to take it down to your vise, put it in the vise, tighten it down so slightly so that as you're drilling down, the down pressure does not push this down. Just make sure not to tighten the vise overly tightly. Otherwise, you could run the risk of, like I said, squishing these little nipples, which is not good. Next thing about the retract, and this goes for all the retracts, every single solitary one, and I mean every one, of the grub screws on this thing has no Loctite. So make sure that you put it on every single one of them. Go over the thing with a fine-tooth comb. Otherwise, you'll regret it, trust me. The last thing about the nose retract is this. Okay. If you look at this diagram here, you'll notice that, or maybe this one's probably a bit better. Okay, you'll notice that there's a little spring here, right? And that little spring is attached to that little hole. The reason why they have it is so that as this retract pulls up, right, this spring here is supposed to be attached here and attached to the trunnion so that it minimizes this from going side to side. So it minimizes the slop because it's a pull-pull system, and pull-pull systems usually have a little bit of extra slop. The problem is they drilled it in the wrong side. So this is what the retract is supposed to look like when it's fully retracted, just like this one. But if you noticed, the spring is on top of the retract. Well, there's no hole here. Where's the hole? On the opposite side. So they drilled it on the wrong side from the factory. That's not a huge deal. All I got to do is just tap another hole on the back side here, and we should be able to solve that problem. Now, I might not even need to do that because, again, the whole reason why they did that is to minimize slop, I believe. And I'm going to be running the Asan nose wheel side slip brake dry row combo. So I think that's going to reduce a lot of that. But either way, though, I'm still going to drill the hole and just put it in. Shouldn't be a big deal. And next, okay. I decided to go with a Wemotech 100, just as Warchak did. If you guys haven't checked out Warchak's YouTube channel, you really should, because this guy has basically done so much on this plane, it's ridiculous. In fact, this 3D print that you see here was directly from him. So this is a 100 millimeter sort of inlet ring that would be attached to the tabs that's already in the plane design for 120, sorry, I said 120 millimeter EDF. Now again, I'm running a 100, not a 120 from Wemotech. So the challenge that I'm going to have is this is obviously going to be further back in the plane, and there is no actual physical tabs for this in the plane. So I'm going to have to figure out how the hell I'm going to do that. Not sure if any of you guys have already done that. If you have, you know, drop me a message on YouTube, and if you can help me out, I'd truly appreciate that. So like I said, as you can see, way the hell down there, that's where the mounting tabs are for the 120. So as you can see, there's nothing in the back here, so I'm gonna have to figure that one out. All right, last thing that I'm gonna say is for those of you guys that did order the KingMax CLS2875H high voltage servos, when you do install it in the nose, you're going to have to do a little bit of cutting, not much, just to get it to fit. And this is also the same thing for all the servo boxes. This servo is just slightly bigger than the actual servo boxes that they're providing. It's not a huge deal. Just, you know, cut it out, grind it out, and then obviously put some CA throughout the wood just to make sure that you're sort of reinforcing everything. So that's it, guys. That's all that I've got so far. Hopefully some of this helps some of you guys that are out there doing your build. And I'll see you in the next video. Anyways, Houston out.